What happens when aerial refueling fails? When the first successful aerial refueling took place on June 27, 1923, it became a game-changer for the air forces of the future. Typically, a fighter jet can fly up to 1,000 to 2,000 miles before it needs to be refueled. However, this range is not enough for extensive combat and patrolling missions. Thanks to modern technology, aircrafts can now be refueled mid-air, allowing pilots to extend their flight time and giving them an advantage over the enemy. This process is called aerial refueling, in which military tanker planes transfer aviation fuel to the fighter jet. The receiver aircraft approaches the tanker from behind to receive extra gallons of jet fuel from the strategically placed tanks within the aircraft. In this process, both aircraft must maintain a distance of 100 feet. The aircraft must slow down to match the tanker's speed, which is approximately 300 miles per hour. Pilots often say that waiting for the boom to connect is one of the most stressful parts of refueling. Usually, the aircraft providing the fuel is specifically designed for this task, although refueling pods may be fitted to existing aircraft designs in the case of probe and drogue systems. Since its successful implementation in the 1930s and 1940s, aerial refueling has been continuously improved with the intention of extending the range of military aircraft. In the 1970s and 1990s, during the Vietnam War, the U.S. military utilized aerial refueling by flying from Thailand to North Vietnam and refueling from KC-135s en route to their target. The KC-135 Stratotanker has been the primary aerial refueling aircraft for the United States Air Force for over 60 years, consistently excelling in this crucial role. Here, the maintenance personnel attached a drogue system to the flying boom of a KC-135 Stratotanker. The flying boom operator is positioned in the aft section of the aircraft and is responsible for operating the in-flight air refueling controls and switches. Their main duty is to ensure safe contact between the tanker and receiver aircraft during the refueling process. Before takeoff, the maintenance crew and pilot of the KC-135 perform their own pre-flight checks to ensure that the aircraft is ready for flight. More than 417 KC-135As were modified with new CFM56 engines, and the deck of the Stratotanker was also upgraded to a digital glass system. A KC-135 can carry up to 200,000 pounds of fuel when it takes off. The flying boom has a retracted length of 28 feet, but can extend up to 48 feet when fully extended. One of the key challenges faced during aerial refueling is transferring fuel safely and accurately between tanker and receiving aircraft. In a complicated maneuver, the tanker does a 180-degree turn to have the receiver come up behind it. This process requires great precision and skills to avoid any fuel leaks or other dangerous situations. The KC-135 relies heavily on its flying boom pumps to transfer internal fuel, making it the primary method for fuel transfer. During aerial refueling, the boom operator must continuously control the boom while 6,500 pounds of fuel is transferred every minute. After the refueling is complete, the boom is disconnected and the C-5 pilot exits the aerial refueling envelope. The U.S. Navy utilizes the probe and drogue system for refueling purposes, as it can be performed by smaller aircraft. With the probe and drogue method, the pilot is responsible to attach his probe to the drogue. Modern aircraft mainly use one of two systems for aerial refueling, the aerial boom or the probe and drogue system. The KC-135 is used by various air forces, including the United States Air Force, French Air and Space Force, Turkish Air Force, and Singapore Air Force. The KC-135 Stratotanker is equipped with 4 CFM56 turbofan engines and has an impressive maximum takeoff weight of 322,500 pounds. This aircraft has a staggering cargo capacity of 83,000 pounds and can also be used for freight or transporting ambulatory patients during medical evacuations, with a capacity for up to 37 passengers. The skilled crew of the aircraft consists of a highly trained pilot, an experienced co-pilot, and a proficient boom operator located at the rear of the aircraft to expertly facilitate the air refueling of other aircraft. The term flying boom originated from the use of small controllable aerofoils that are operated and controlled by the boom operator through hydraulic systems. These aerofoils generate aerodynamic forces to move the boom. The fuel that keeps the KC-135 flying is the same fuel that is taken on by the receiver. Specially designed tankers are used to transport aviation fuel internationally. A shot line is fired across before the process of replenishment at sea begins. The RFA Fort Victoria is a Fort-class combined fleet stores ship and tanker that serves as a supply vessel for Navy ships. The vessel provides Navy ships with ammunition, fuel, food, and other necessary provisions. The fuel line is the final component used in the underway replenishment procedure. During this process, fuels, supplies, equipment, and personnel are transferred between ships while at sea. The distance between the ships while transferring fuels must always be exactly 164 feet apart in calm seas to avoid collision and allow for maneuvering. The fuel technicians safely fill tanks, hook and unhook hoses, and carefully inspects the transfer of jet fuel to ensure it meets strict safety and quality standards. Airmen from the 332nd Air Expeditionary Wing are loading cargo onto an incoming KC-135 Stratotanker during a routine mission as the tanker arrives. The team efficiently loads the cargo onto the plane, while the load team chief is responsible for planning the documentation and ensuring the safety and security of all team members. The load team chief talks about his experience.
Well, we don't get many KC-135s here at this exact base, but we certainly have the capability. We can handle the C-130, we can handle the C-17, the C-5, virtually anything that comes our way, we can take it.
These airmen play a crucial role in any war or mission, ensuring that the cargo is sent down immediately. There's no ammunition, no fuel, no bombs, and nothing can be sent without them. What makes aerial refueling one of the most dangerous maneuvers in aviation is the extremely closed distance required to be maintained between the two aircraft. The duration of refueling can vary, with some instances taking up to 15 minutes. This process demands a great deal of concentration and focus. Excessive movement, elevation, or speed changes from either aircraft can cause a disconnection from the boom, requiring the process to be restarted. Due to its close proximity to the windscreen, there is a constant concern that the hose pipe could strike it and cause the aircraft to depressurize. Other dangers involved in the process is the hose or boom breaking off and damaging the hydraulic systems. In 1966, the Palomares B-52 crash, also known as the Palomares incident, occurred when a B-52 bomber carrying nuclear weapons collided with a KC-135 fuel tanker during an aerial refueling process. 7 crew members were lost in this unfortunate accident, and 3 of the 4 nuclear bombs fell on land. Aerial refueling is a crucial force multiplier in mission planning and execution. And so, despite all dangers, the pilots have perfected it. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any of our new content. Until then, take care and see you next time.